Or should I say good morning? I'm driving again, I know. This is like the only time I have like no interruptions. Ooh, it's a little hot in here. It's a little too hot. It's the only time I get to like talk to you guys with nobody interrupting me, really, aside from like recording my videos. But I just wanted to get on here and really emphasize how important it is to network as an entrepreneur. And I know a lot of people are nervous about that, or scared, or they kind of like shy away from it. But the more comfortable you become in these uncomfortable spaces, the better off you are, right? For me, I don't like to beg. Like, I'm not a beggar. I don't like to ask for things. Even if I need something, I don't like, hi, Aisha. I'm talking about networking right now. And so I'm just one of those people, and I had to get out of that headspace, because when you're networking, it's more like a, what can I do for you? What can you do for me, right? A lot of times when people want to link up with you, they're trying to pick your brain, they're trying to get information, they're trying to figure things out, and they just need help. So with that being said, as an entrepreneur, you have to network, and I'll tell you why. So when I first became an entrepreneur and started my notary business, I thought that, before, let me jump back a little bit. So before I jumped into the entrepreneur space, I thought that you had one job and you have one source of income, and that's that, right? That was my mindset. Let me just be vulnerable for a second. So with that being said, jumping into this entrepreneur space, it's not like that, because you can have as many streams of income as you want. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. So networking was something that was new for me. Like, I've always worked a 9-to-5 job. I didn't have to network. Everything was set up. I just was given my position and I did my job, right? But once I got into the notary business and started seeing things change, I noticed that I had to get outside and network and connect with people. Prime example, yesterday a young lady called my business partner, Dominique, about a signing that was way too far from her. We're both in Houston, but we're like an hour away, believe it or not. And so she said, okay, well, let me send you to Sherelle. She's closer to that area. So I'm talking to her, and she's letting me know about the signing. It's just like a 20-page seller's package, nothing hard. Straight for you guys, I love y'all. But just starts to tell me, like, in the area that she's living in, notaries on the out. I was like, really? And I'm like, wow, I've heard that more than once. So I'm like, you can do that. And she's like, so what do I owe you? And I'm like, what do you owe me? No. I'm like, why do you owe me money? And she's like, well, I saw on YouTube where when notaries connect, you pay them a fee or some type of money. And I'm like, girl, no, you don't have to pay me anything. I said, as a matter of fact, because you are choosing to take time out of your day and show up and drop off these documents, you make sure you invoice the client your fee for dropping off the documents, right? Because all in all, we're doing this guy a favor. Like, he needed this to be done. He's not close to me at all, you know what I'm saying? And so, I gave my price, and I was like, that's including the travel fee and whatnot. So it is what it is. And it just kind of shocked me that, like, she wanted to offer me money for offering me a job. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? But another good example of network. And so we're both going to do this signing. I'm going to do the signing. She's going to drop off the documents. That's that. So another networking experience that I've had recently is I'm really interested in the Airbnb space and how you can actually sublease apartments, homes, whatever, and actually make money without having to own that property. So I do a podcast and I co-host from time to time. And with that being said, one of the other co-hosts, that's what she does. She does Airbnbs, and I'm like, oh, cool. So I reached out to her online because we really didn't talk much when we did the podcast. And I was like, hey, I'm really interested in the Airbnb stuff. Like, how many properties do you have? Right? So we meet up for brunch. It was a really good time. The brunch spot was lit, let me just say that. But aside from that, we got to really have good conversations about entrepreneurship, about making money, about making connections. And, you know, she helped me out to really understand that Airbnb space. And she has a course. And she actually did not charge me for the course. She's like, I'll give it to you. And I'm like, wait, no. Like, I called you here for your time. Like, you didn't have to come. Like, I'm gonna pay you for your time, right? And so I did give her some money for showing, you know, for meeting up with me and for that course. But you have to understand, when you're networking with somebody and you want them to take you seriously because you're trying to soak up so much game and really trying to figure things out, you can't come to the table empty-handed. You cannot come to the table empty-handed. You cannot show up and say, all right, so how do you do this? How do you do that? Well, what is this? How do you do, you know, because that person's going to feel like, well, dang, like, how are you helping me? You know, like, we're here talking and you haven't offered me anything. Like, how am I benefiting? You know, and it's just the name of the game. It's just, I'm just being 100% honest. That's just what it is sometimes, or most of the time anyway. So when you decide to network, make sure that you have something that you can offer to another person. If you're trying to pick somebody's brain about a business you want to start and they're an expert in it, if you're trying anything in that realm, you need to be able to have something of value that you can offer to that person. Okay, that's what networking is about. I mean, we can meet up and go eat places and do all of that fun stuff, but at the end of the day, what are you gaining mentally for yourself, and what are they going to gain from you, right? Because for one, you're asking them for their time. We all know time costs money. So what is it that you're going to give to them in return for you wanting to ask these questions that you're expecting answers from, and to, you know, to have time, to have their time. And for me, because she was so nice and so willing to help, you know, she sent me some emails about some stuff, and she really has been just very, very pivotal in teaching and showing me the game of the Airbnb stuff. So I, at a point in time, had a dream, and I was actually working towards that dream of buying tiny homes and renting them out on Airbnb. And I was going to do it in my hometown, and some things fell through, and it's all good. I had to kind of start over, which was fine with me. You know, that's life. But I had started to purchase items for these tiny homes, like home interior. Oh my God, the shaking is annoying. Home interior items. Okay, that's what's behind me right now, literally. So I was in my garage the other day, and I'm looking at that bin of stuff, and I'm like, I'm not doing my tiny home stuff anytime soon. Like, I've got a lot of other things going on. So I hit her up, and I was like, hey, I have a bin in my garage full of home interior stuff. If you'd love to have it, I'd be happy to give it to you, because I know that she has units, and, you know, the expense that comes with having those Airbnbs is that you have to furnish them. So I just told her, like, hey, I have this stuff, you can have it for free, no big deal. And she was like, cool, like, I really do need that, thank you. Now, she doesn't know what I have. I haven't even told her what I have. I have some good stuff, don't get me wrong. But you're offering something to somebody, right? And at the point in time when we get together and I show her the stuff we have, I do have a couple of questions I want to ask. And I even have an offer if she's willing to team up with me, right? So you have to come to the table with something. You cannot ask people for their time and not have something to give them in return. There was another lady that reached out to me. Well, actually, I reached out to her from my YouTube channel, and I was happy to, like, freely promote her business, and what she was having a conference. And I found out about it online. I saw it on Instagram, and I was like, oh, this would be a perfect video for me to promote. She was a black female, da-da-da-da. So I was like, oh, cool, I can promote her on my channel, but I wanted to have permission. I'm giving up too much information here. But I wanted to have permission to speak about the event, right? I didn't want to just start talking about it and posting it, and then that person be like, well, who are you? I don't even know who you are. You haven't spoken to me. How do you know? And then I could get even more details as well if that person were to agree. So the person did agree. And the first thing that she asked me was, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Like, what, you know what I'm saying? And I was just, at first it kind of made me feel like, huh? You know? I'm like, you know, no, you don't have to do anything. Like, you don't owe me anything. I'm happy to do this. This is for my YouTube channel. This is how I monetize on here, is by posting videos and all this kind of stuff and promoting people, businesses, what have you. But it made me realize, like, in that moment, like, okay, this is what networking is about. Like, you give me something, I give you something, we both benefit, we both win. And it doesn't always have to be about money. You know what I'm saying? It can be time, it can be education, it can be a damn PDF or a template. I don't know. It can be anything. So networking is super important as an entrepreneur, because you never know what can come out of it. You never know what people are doing. There are so many entrepreneurs that are involved in so many different businesses and niches, to where, you know, you never know what you can gain or what value comes out of that. So it's always important to offer something when you're wanting something from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what networking is, you know, essentially. You're getting to know somebody because they know something that you want to know too, or they have something that you want to be a part of. So I've just had a lot of those type of experiences in networking, and they've all been very fruitful one way or the other. Even if it's just a small piece of fruit, you know what I'm saying? It's still something fruitful that I can carry on in my businesses and in the things that I'm interested in doing. You know what I'm saying? And even if it's inspiration, like, inspiration is a gain, because I know when I do the podcast, I don't get paid to co-host these podcasts, okay? He's had some heavy hitters on there. We just did a podcast with Finesser's Only Finesser. I can't think of his freaking name. But he's pretty popping in the podcast world. And I was just happy to be in that space, because to me, it inspired the beat out of me. You know what I'm saying? It made me feel like, okay, wow, he's doing 8 things and he's handling it. When we met up with him earlier that day, he had a conference going on in our city. He's not even from here. And he had merch that he was selling. And he was just, you know, even in the interview, he was talking about things that happened in his life. He had been to jail. He had, you know, done some things in his past that he wasn't really proud of. Y'all that made me miss my turn. Y'all made me miss my turn. It's all good. That's life. So, you know, it's important to put yourself in those places and spaces, and don't feel like you need to get paid to do stuff like that. Like, don't feel like you need money all the time in order to feel like you're gaining something. Knowledge, inspiration, being at the table, sitting at the table, you know what I'm saying, waiting your turn to get a seat at the table, all of that is essential and important. You know what I'm saying? And is valuable. That interview was really good too, actually. And as much as people would think that Finessers Only would have, like, or Only Finesses, whatever his freaking name, however you say it, people think that he's more like a womanizer. And I think he just matches energy with the room and with who he's interviewing with. But anyway, that's beside the point. And like I said, I do these podcasts and I don't get paid. But the question is, why are you going to do these podcasts? Why are you driving? Why are you wasting 3 hours out of your day to do something that doesn't pay you? Because it's the table I'm sitting at and I'm learning. I'm learning about podcasting. I'm learning about editing my videos for YouTube. I'm learning about how to question people when it comes to, you know, podcasts and stuff like that. All of that to me is beneficial to me, and I don't know how it will be a benefit. I don't know how it will be beneficial to me, but I know that it will be. I just have faith that it will be. I wouldn't be asked to be put into a space like that if I didn't have some type of value or God wasn't trying to show me something. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have a podcast right now. I'm really not interested in doing my own podcast, honestly, because I have too much other stuff going on. But it's like I'm still gaining and learning, and I'm in a space where we get to interview. Am I in the Lordy Jesus, y'all? Let me get out this lane. I got a toll tag. Let me get over here on the toll side. I feel like the benefit for me is I'm in a space and a place where we interview a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people who learn how to start their own businesses. And they just figure it out. You know, we had another chick that we interviewed that does Airbnbs too. We've had people who make money on the side doing different things in real estate without actually having a real estate license, or, you know, to sell homes, to sell and buy and sell homes. So there's so many little loopholes of ways that you can really capitalize and make money as an entrepreneur. You don't have to be this big time boss with all these degrees. You know what I'm saying? It's about networking and having the knowledge That's what it ends up being about. Sorry, y'all. I had to hold my phone because it's so jiggly, and this Lexus over here is so impatient. He needs to just chill, take a chill pill. But anyways, I'm headed now to a young lady's house, like I said before, and I'm gonna give her a lot of things that I have as far as like home interior type stuff that she can use for her Airbnb units. And it's gonna be a good conversation, and we're gonna, you know what I'm saying, we're gonna chop it up, as they say, right? Is that what the kids say, chop it up? But networking is important. I know that people get nervous about it or they shy away from it, but it's all about how you approach a networking experience with somebody, because you want to be able to offer them something, like I said. And I never understood it this way until recently, that networking is about give and take, you know what I'm saying? And it has to be even, you know, or somewhat even. You know, some people are willing to give you anything you want and anything you ask for, and that's that. And then others are not. You know, you have people who are like, oh, you want to meet up with me? Well, I'm not going to meet up with you, but we can do a Zoom and you can pay $50. Well, if you feel like it's worth your $50, I know one thing, you better get your money together. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you do have to invest in order to be your best. Oh my God, that sounded so lame. It really, really did sound lame. Like that was lame. Sorry, you guys. But anything you want to put into the chat, I am happy to respond to any questions that you may have about networking. I'm co-creator of the Houston Notary Academy. Ding! And we have networking events, and we're definitely doing a lot more giving and a lot less taking, but that's okay, because we're still getting the chance to be around notaries and people who are excited about entrepreneurship, who are curious about entrepreneurship, who want to learn how to become successful and get rid of their 9-to-5 jobs. So being in a place like that, I'm always happy to help, and I don't need anything from you. Just knowing who you are and you supporting me, whether it be following me on Instagram, whether it be sharing a post that I make, whether it be you referring my YouTube channel, to me, those are all benefits. And they may seem like small benefits, but to me, they're major. I am literally about to have 19,000 subscribers on my channel. If I were to have every person that I network with to follow me, I would definitely be probably very close to 20,000 by now, for sure. But you know, that's just the name of the game. You have to figure out what is valuable to you. And to me, anything is valuable. Anything can be valuable. Something as small as an idea, inspiration is able, like I said. For everybody, it's different. And some people, you know, they compare value with money. And I just don't. That's not me. I don't need to always have money in order to feel like I'm gaining value. You know what I'm saying? When you go to college, you're spending your money to get an education, right? Value. You know what I'm saying? It's value. But anyways, I didn't want to waste you guys' time. I just wanted to come on here and really talk about networking and how important it is. Step out of your box. I know for me, I'll be honest, I perform best when I'm outside of my regular box. Anytime I'm doing something I'm nervous to do, or I feel kind of hesitant to do, I do my best. And that's just subconsciously, you know what I'm saying? So I know that for me, that's not a weakness. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a strength for me to be placed in and put in places and spaces that are uncomfortable to me, but that will challenge me, you know? And I think a lot of people run from challenges. And I think a lot of people that start their notary businesses, they start to run into those challenges due to lack of education. And they go back to a 9-to-5 and say, you know what, that was too hard, I couldn't do it. When really you just had to kind of open your mind up and be willing to learn and expand and grow. That's another thing about networking too. You have to be willing to do the work and put the work in. And if you're not willing to do that, then don't waste people's time and say, hey, I want to meet up with you and ask you these questions. That's why some people charge money, is because they probably ran into so many people who are not that serious, or who are in fan mode and just want to meet you, versus wanting to gain education, wanting to gain knowledge, wanting to really learn how to succeed and do well. And you know, that sucks, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It just is what it is. So if you are a notary business owner or any type of entrepreneur and you're not doing as well as you'd like to be doing in your business, you may need to do a reset. meaning take a pause, take a weekend, take a weeknight, whatever you want to do, and just sit and look at your business and evaluate the leaks, the cracks, find the things that are wrong, figure out what's not working. If you have posts on your Instagram and a lot of them average 50 likes and you have one that has 1 like, that is a post you never want to make again. That is something you need to evaluate and say, okay, this doesn't identify with my viewers, my followers. I need to take this down. I need to figure something else out. Or, you know, look at the recipe you already have on your page. What are the posts that are popping? Or is it when you show your face? Is it when you offer certain types of notary services? You know, it really boils down to all of that. Is your website appealing? Can people really navigate through your website? Are people able to find and reach you? You know, all of that makes a huge difference in entrepreneurship, and you have to be careful of what you decide to change, because that will change the trajectory of what you're doing. Make sure you like your business. Make sure you like what you're doing. And if there are things that you don't like to do that stuff first. Do that stuff first. If that's something you have to do at the beginning of your day, then do it. I make it a habit of when I wake up, I pray, and then the first thing I do is I check my emails, because I don't want to miss out on anything that was sent to me, I guess overnight or late, you know, the night before. So I go ahead and check those things, and if there are any tasks or any errands I have to run or things I need to do, I can get that done at the beginning of my day, and then I can start the rest of my day with my business. Whether that's promoting on Google My Business, whether that's networking with somebody, whether that's, you know, going to my scheduled appointments or what have you. So it really is good to take a step back. If your business is not doing that well, take that step back and figure out what's wrong. And sometimes it's helpful to ask others what's wrong with your business. Say, hey, like, go look at my website. What do you think? Are you able to go to my website and try to book an appointment and tell me your experience? That is probably like golden to really figuring and finding out how your business is working and how user-friendly it is for other people to utilize it. Because as soon as there's a challenge and a client is kind of confused on how to do something, they're going to get out of it and find somebody else. Because you do it. I do it. You know what I'm saying? But, and I've had to do that. I've had to definitely sit back and look at my business and say, what is wrong, Sherelle? Like, what's going on? Like, why is nobody calling your phone? Like, why is nobody reaching out to you? Why are your website views going down? Why do you not have many Google reviews? You know what I'm saying? All of that stuff is really gonna talk to you and show you where you are in your business. But anyways, that's all I wanted. I just wanted to talk to you guys about networking and tell you that it's definitely important to do it. Step out of that box, and put your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? Be prepared. Get your business in order. Have a business plan. I started out my business with no business plan. I had ideas, and I had an idea of where I wanted to be and how busy I wanted to be and what I wanted to be doing. But I did not have a plan to get to that destination. So if you don't have a plan, then you're going to be sitting there like I did and say, why is nobody calling me? Well, I didn't have a Google My Business page for people to find me. That was the first thing I noticed. Another thing I noticed was I wasn't promoting myself enough. On Google My Business, you can create CTAs, my bad. CTAs are call to actions. So basically what you can do is create some type of a flyer on Canva or on whatever type of software you have, and post it and give them an action, call to action. What is the action? Do you want them to call now, book now, visit my website, click here, do this, do that? You have to give them an action so that they can be able to reach you or do whatever it is that needs to be done, whether that's booking an appointment, whether that's calling your business line, whatever it is. I didn't have many of those. I got a lot more website visits the more I was posting call to actions on my Google My Business page. I noticed an increase in site visits and interactions with clients who would call. So you have to do those things to really say, oh, okay, I've been sleeping on myself all this time. Another thing I did recently, and that actually shot up a lot more calls and people reaching out to me for my notary services. I don't have Facebook. I do not even like Facebook at all. But My husband has Facebook, and he follows our subdivision page on Facebook, and we have a pretty big subdivision. It's a huge area, and he posted my flyer there. 2 people called me that same day. Oh, I would love to, can you come notarize something for me? And I'm just like, wow, how long have you been waiting on my flyer to pop up? Like, how long have you needed a notary? So something as simple as posting a flyer on different outlets, even the ones you don't agree with, don't skip out on the bag, because I was clearly skipping out on the bag with that. But yeah, reevaluate your business, reevaluate what you're doing. Are you really promoting yourself like that? Are you able to be found? How are people going to find you? You have a website, great. How are people going to find that website? How do they know to go to your website? You know what I'm saying? So you have to really sit back and evaluate where your business is, where you want it to be, and put the steps in order to get there. I'm in that place right now. I'm not where I want to be. Don't get me wrong. I'm being transparent right now. I'm not where I want to be at all. But I have steps in place now to get me there, and I'm following them, and it's working. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have steps in place, then I'd be mad that I'm not rich. I'd be like, why am I not living my best life yet? Well, you don't have a plan. What is your plan? What are the things that you're doing to work towards that lifestyle that you want? Work towards that quota that you want to make every month. Set quotas and stuff like that too. That's pressure right there. If you have this much due in bills, you need to be making this much working as a notary. Set that quota for yourself, because you're going to start to push yourself and say, oh shoot, I'm still down $300. I got to figure out how to get my money together in my pocket. How am I going to get more notary appointments? How am I going to reach out to more people? How are people going to reach out to me? So it's all about evaluating where you are and where you want to be and putting action to it. All right? Y'all got this. Network. Why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? Anyways, network, get outside of your box. If there is somebody that you're interested in and you like what they're doing, reach out to them, say, hey, I would love to pick your brain, or tell them how you can benefit them. Then they'll be more interested in speaking with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. But anyways, I am going to get off this phone because I'm risking my life for you guys. And yeah, hopefully I've encouraged you guys to do something different. Fadi's over there for real? Sorry, y'all. Hopefully I've encouraged you to step out of your box and do something pivotal for your business. Check it out, look into what's going on, and figure out how to make that better, how to make that work, how to make your lifestyle what you want it to be. But anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing, blessed day. Peace out.